G'day everyone. It is the eve of the US Open, the second major of 2018, coming to us this year from Shinnecock Hills. What an exciting venue it is. It's exciting for a number of reasons, and I think one of the major reasons why it's exciting from my perspective is that from all reports, it's a little bit reminds a few of the Aussies of the Sandbelt, and in Melbourne, and certainly I think that plays into our hands because our Aussie boys will feel at home on this sort of venue, and certainly have a great opportunity to win. I think all of our Aussies, if we look at the 9 of them who are coming in, all 9 of them I think have been playing well throughout the year, and have a really great chance, I think, to lift the trophy on Sunday night, one of those 9. So obviously the big players being Jason and probably Leash going in, but I don't think you can discount all the boys. Even talking to DB, Dave Branson, who I've travelled a bit with, I think this sort of golf course suits him. I mentioned it last week on radio when a few of the other boys qualified in, and I was asked about Dave. I just really feel like this is a sort of venue that can suit him, and he can play very, very well around this sort of golf course. He's strong, his long irons exceptionally well. So, yeah, I'd be really excited to see how Dave goes, and obviously the rest of the Aussies as well. Listening to Bads on radio yesterday, he's excited about his game. He feels like this year his strokes gained tee to green as the best it's ever been on the PGA Tour. We all know what a great putter he is, so if he takes that form in ball striking wise into this US Open, then there's no reason why he can't be featuring late on Sunday as well. Certainly a big shout out to Lucas Herbert. I think he's playing in his first major, so congratulations Lucas. He's been playing phenomenal golf this year, so a little dark horse there for Lucas out of the Aussies, I think. So it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing seems to faze him. No occasion seems to faze him. He thrives on it, and he's been going from strength to strength this year. So just watch out for Lucas in the background there. He might sneak up and surprise us, which would be awesome. The golf course itself, links style golf course. Obviously, back in 2004, last time it was here, Retief Goosen winning at -4 with only 2 players being under par come the end of the week. And Corey Pavin winning prior to that with an incredible shot up the last, which you all remember. And he shot even par. So scoring-wise, quite low. That's traditional for US Opens, exception of last year's Brooks Koepka 16 under. But they have changed the golf course, and the golf course has gotten longer. They've increased a number of holes at serious length too, some holes going out by 70 yards in length. Anytime you've got par 3s over 250 yards, par 4s over 520 yards, and par 5s over 615 is a serious test. Do I think that lengthening of the golf course will play quite as long as some of the holes have lengthened? I don't think so. I think certainly 2004 was a long time ago, and technology's changed a lot. I think the golf balls changed, the drivers have changed, and subsequently I feel like potentially it won't really maybe play that much different to what it did in 2004, despite the increase of length, just due to the technology change. So where it has changed as well is the average fairway width. Back in 2004 was an average of 25 yards in fairway width, whereas this year they've widened that out to sort of 45 yards. And that information's sort of coming to me from a couple of people on the ground. Ewan Porter has commentating this week over there. I wish him well in that job, and certainly Dave Branson on the ground as well. Been chatting to him a little bit about it, and certainly in places quite wide. So it just depends where you want to drive the golf ball as to whether you want to take on a little slightly narrower area. So the other thing that David said was that around the greens has been not your traditional long rough that they typically have at a US Open. So a lot more shaved off around the greens, where the ball, he said, could feed anywhere from 5 to 15 metres away from the edge of the green. He feels like there's going to be a fair bit of sort of bump and run up banks and stuff due to that, and due to the way they've prepped it around the green. So yeah, it'll be fascinating to watch, and I think that will require someone who's got great creativity in their short game to keep them going, to keep their rounds going, to keep that momentum going in rounds when you've missed a green. So who do I like? Who do I like to win this week? Jason Day has an impeccable, very, very good US Open record. Hasn't managed to crack it, but I certainly think he's a massive chance this week. He's been playing exceptionally well. Loves it when the going gets tough. So I think that's good for him. Out early Thursday morning as one of the 5 Aussies who are heading out early on a Thursday in the first round. So, yeah, I certainly think his form this year warrants him being right at the top of the list as far as favourites go going in. I think Leishman, from all reports, left to right golf around this venue is a good thing. He's been playing well. If it's anything like the Sandbelt golf courses where he's played a lot of golf over his youth and growing up, yeah, I certainly think he's a massive chance as well. And I guess my dark horse, not a dark horse with the Aussies, but I certainly think I have a gut feeling about Adam Scott this week. So take that as you will, but I don't know why. I've just got a gut feeling that this is going to be a great week for Scotty. I think it's a good story. He played really well to try and get himself up into that automatic qualification after not having an awesome year. Nearly did that, went and qualified. He's got his local caddy on the bag who caddied for him when he shot the low round around this venue. So yeah, it's just it's a pretty cool feel-good story. So yeah, I just have a gut feeling about Scotty. Outside of the Aussies, and obviously I have to look outside the Aussies. I think obviously DJ coming in with great form, great confidence you can't buy. He's got it in spades at the moment. That makes him very, very dangerous this week, I think, and also left to right ball flight. For the Tiger fans out there, yeah, I think from what I've read and the research I've done into how Tiger's feeling, press conferences and the like, the one thing that I thought he might do really well coming back, and I didn't think he'd have troubles with was his putting versus his long game, whereas it's actually been flipped the other way, and his long game's actually stood a little bit, I think stood up a little bit more than his putting, and subsequently he's worked really, really hard leading into this week on his putting from all reports, and he's feeling like his putters is back. That's dangerous if it gets back to the clutch days of the Tigers' dominance of the game. So if that's the case, then and he maintains his ball striking that he's had since his return, I think he's a very, very dangerous proposition this week to add to his major list. But my tip outside the Aussies, and I'm tipping the Aussies all the way in. So this is my 10th tip, I guess, behind the Aussies. But no, in all seriousness, my tip outside the Aussies would be Ricky Fowler for this week. I think he's ready to win a major. I think he has the game. I've loved watching him in British Opens. This is a bit like a British Open golf course, very exposed links style course with plenty of wind. I love the way he controls his golf ball up and down during British Opens. Seems to be able to flight it down when he wants to, use the ground when he wants to, and he's got an incredibly imaginative short game, inventive short game, and I think that's the sort of thing that you're going to need this week, as well as he's got a massive, massive dose of patience. I love how patient he looks on the golf course. Nothing seems to fluster him. It's brilliant, and I think Ricky Fowler is your man this week should one of the Aussies not be holding the trophy come Sunday night. Enjoy the US Open. I know I'm going to. I can't wait for it to get started, and not only that, I can't wait for Australia to beat France on Saturday night in the World Cup opener for us as well. Come on, Aussies.